Hi, my name's Lana Cavinson, and I'm the Product Marketing Manager at LinkedIn. I'm so excited to welcome all of you to our first LinkedIn Ads webcast, Getting Started with LinkedIn Ads. This session will run for 30 minutes, and then we'll leave 15 minutes for a Q&A session. If you have any questions during this presentation, please feel free to post your questions in the Q&A module on WebEx. We'll try to answer as many as possible during the presentation. Now, I'd like to introduce you to Kate Platanovo, our LinkedIn Ads online operations strategist. Kate comes to us with years of traditional and online marketing experience. So without further ado, let me hand it over to Kate.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the LinkedIn Ads training webinar. My name is Kate Platanovo, and I'm an online operations strategist dedicated to LinkedIn Ads. I've worked in the marketing since 2005 in both traditional and online media across various platforms and businesses, and I've helped dozens of LinkedIn Ads advertisers start, manage, and optimize their campaigns. Some of my most successful advertisers have seen a 60% increase in their overall click-through rates. So let's get some of the logistics out of the way. As Lana mentioned, I will be presenting for approximately 30 minutes. I'll leave 15 minutes at the end of the webinar for your questions, and I'll try to get through as many as I possibly can, I promise. If you'd like to ask a question during this webinar, simply type your question into the Q&A area on your screen. The Q&A area is accessible by clicking on the question mark icon in your WebEx event control toolbar. Note that we're not using the chat area. In the Q&A area, direct your questions to all panelists, and we'll be tracking them throughout the webinar. If you have any technical problems, please feel free to also use that Q&A area to report them. So our webcast today is intended for new users of LinkedIn Ads. I'll spend the next 30 minutes going through what makes LinkedIn Ads unique, how to create your first ad campaign, and best practices on creative and targeting. I'll also quickly touch on why we recommend that all advertisers create and use a business account versus a personal account when running ad campaigns. Remember to ask all your questions along the way, and let's get started. Let's start by talking a little bit about the LinkedIn landscape. To provide a brief update on LinkedIn, we're truly global and ever-growing. In fact, our membership has grown to over 161 million members and is growing at a rate of more than 2 members per second. This means that your audience is literally growing by the second. Our members are very engaged with the site, resulting in over 105 million monthly unique visits. So why do members come to LinkedIn? LinkedIn members come here for various reasons outside of looking for employment. They come to LinkedIn to establish a professional profile of record. This is how our members represent their professional experiences, skills, and ambitions, and it's a starting point that allows them to connect, find, and be found. As they network with colleagues, business partners, clients, and prospects, they're able to glean unique and valuable business intelligence that enables them to be great at what they do. There are currently 2 ways to advertise with LinkedIn. One is through LinkedIn Ads. The second is through LinkedIn Marketing Solutions. I'll tell you a little bit about the differences between the two. They actually parallel the difference between search and display quite closely. LinkedIn Ads are text-based ads with small images that run on an auction-based system through a self-serve interface. There is no minimum budget, and the ads can be paid for using CPC or CPM bidding. There is also a team of active strategists for top-performing advertisers. Marketing Solutions, on the other hand, is LinkedIn's premium advertising offering. It includes a variety of products such as display banners, follow ads, or group sponsorships. It also includes guaranteed inventory that's purchased on a CPM basis with a minimum budget of $25,000 per quarter. There is also a dedicated account management team that comes with that budget. But the biggest difference between LinkedIn Ads and Marketing Solutions in its truest form is that LinkedIn Ads is truly lead generation and direct response driven, whereas Marketing Solutions tends to be a slightly better option for branding. So why LinkedIn Ads? Here's a quick little recap of what we are and what we do. LinkedIn Ads is a self-service, performance-based advertising solution. LinkedIn Ads lets you target with precision so that you can reach your ideal audience without wasting impressions or clicks. Our platform allows you to create and place ads on high-traffic pages of LinkedIn.com practically within minutes. LinkedIn Ads are also shown to LinkedIn members all around the world and not just within the U.S. The graphic on this slide shows that ads can appear in 4 formats across the LinkedIn website: top, right column, vertically on the right column, and at the bottom of the page. Depending on the page of the site, it may appear multiple times or in just one slot on that page. You can choose your target audience, so effectively who views your ads, but you actually don't have a choice as to which of the ad formats your ad will appear in. So as you're creating your ads within your campaigns, keep that in mind and think about how the ads will appear within these different formats. I encourage you to take a look at the ads in various pages on the site so that you can familiarize yourself with all the different locations and formats that are available. I'll go through a few now. First, when you log into LinkedIn, you will come to a page that we call the home page. At the very top, just underneath the menu bar, you'll see a single text link that will consist of a headline, a dash, and your description. That's one very common way that your ads may appear. Another highly visible placement is on the right side of various pages of LinkedIn. On your homepage, the profile page, or even on the company pages. All examples of the ads are shown in this way. If there is an image, you'll see an image, a single headline, and 75 characters of text. Note that sometimes within this position, you will see a banner ad instead of a LinkedIn Ads ad. And what it is actually Marketing Solutions, so our premium solution, and we do share this inventory slot with them. If from the homepage you elect to perform a search at the upper right-hand corner, whether you're searching for a person, a company, or a group, you'll come to a search results page where you'll see ads listed on the right-hand side in a vertical format. So you'll either see 1, 2, or 3 ads. So that's another placement. And finally, your ads may appear in horizontal format at the very, very bottom of the page. So that would be in the horizontal footer. You've heard me mention this a couple of times, but just to reiterate it, our ads are shown across all prominent pages of LinkedIn. So everything from the profile page to the home page to inbox, groups, search results, etc. So before you launch your first campaign, there are a couple of things that we want you to keep in mind to prepare for success. For any ad campaign to be successful, you need to know your business goals. Are you trying to build brand awareness, drive traffic to a website, or generate leads? Either way, your campaign should always be built with these goals in mind. The clearer and more specific your goals are, the more powerful your ad campaigns will be. Setting your goals before you launch your campaign is incredibly important. They will help you to create the right ads as well as to choose the correct bidding options. So this slide actually shows you the different types of goals you may consider, what you might think about measuring, as well as some other considerations you want to keep in mind. So one thing that I do want to point out is if your goal is to acquire leads or collect, sales inquiries, what you would want to measure is conversions that are coming to your landing page. This time, LinkedIn Ads doesn't offer conversion tracking. So keep in mind that if you're building a campaign of this type, you'll need to implement a third-party conversion tracking tool, such as Google Analytics, which is a great option because it's free. The second thing that we want you to keep in mind as you're preparing for your campaigns is your target audience. As an active business, you most likely already have a very good understanding of your clients, the people who find your product useful, and those who you want to target with your advertising. However, how well do you really know them? To understand how to best target on LinkedIn, what I recommend doing is creating a persona within your target audience. Give them a name, an age, interests, jobs, etc. This will help you think through how to best find and reach that audience through the available targeting we have on LinkedIn. For example, here I created a persona named Steve. Steve is a controller at ABC investment firm. He's 45 years old. He contributes to finance groups with his extensive financial expertise, and he wants an online MBA. What's important to note here are the different aspects of Steve's profile and the various ways that you can structure your campaigns to target him. So with your campaign goals in mind and your target audience, let's get started on campaign creation. First things first, let's see how we can get access to LinkedIn ads. The best way to do so is to go to www.linkedin.com/ads and click on the yellow Start Now button. Once you do that, you will be taken to the first step of ad creation, which contains inputting an ad campaign name as well as your first ad variation. So let's focus on the campaign name first. We recommend that you choose a descriptive name that reflects what you're trying to test and the goals that you're trying to achieve. So ideally, what that means is creating a name that truly reflects your target audience. This will make it incredibly easy for you to understand and to remember exactly what's going on in that campaign. Especially as you get more advanced and you create more campaigns, staying organized will be a huge lifesaver for you. So one thing to note, the campaign name is just for your use. It's internal. Your clients will not see it. So remember, name things in ways that are easy for you and in ways that's easy for you to stay organized. So the second part of step one is actually inputting your creative or your ads. A typical ad consists of a 50 by 50 pixel image, a 25-character headline, a 75-character description text, as well as a landing page or a destination URL. So you can either elect to drive your users to an off-site destination page, so something like a page within your company site, or you can actually elect to keep your users on-site and drive either to a LinkedIn member profile or to a company page. Once you've made all of those decisions, the important thing to think about is your ad text. In fact, our second most common mistake on LinkedIn ads is ineffective ad copy. But don't worry, I got you covered. Let's talk about writing strong and relevant ad copy. The ads that perform best are relevant to the target audience, which is why it's incredibly important to keep them in mind as you're building your campaigns. These ads are written with clear and compelling words. So choose words that grab attention of your target audience and clearly explain what you offer. Give people a reason to take notice, and click to learn more by highlighting pain points and unique benefits for your target audience. Include a strong call to action with phrases like try, download, sign up, or request a quote. We really want to tell the users what we want them to do once they get to a landing page. A few other suggestions are focus on engaging images, such as using pictures of people or bright colors. Run about 3 to 4 ads per campaign. This will give you an opportunity to truly track performance within each ad. And lastly, remember to test, and always test. You won't know what works best until you create multiple ad variations and look at both the CTR and the conversion rate to see which one is performing the best for you. So here I'm giving you a quick example of 2 ads. One is definitely more effective and the other is a little bit less effective. The one on the left is obviously targeting accountants and financial staff to get them to purchase an accounting software. As you can see, the ad is incredibly effective because it uses vertical lingo, so it addresses closing books to accountants, which is language that they understand, and it also has a very strong call to action. Whereas the second ad is a little bit less effective. The headline is much softer. It could apply to almost any audience. And the call to action is also incredibly soft. Switching is not as strong as getting a free 30-day trial. So the second piece to an effective ad is selecting the correct landing page. It's often not your company page or your product homepage. In fact, some of the best landing pages are built specifically for their LinkedIn ads campaigns. Here are a few tips on improving your landing page. Customize your page and special offers for your target audience. For example, this could include giving your LinkedIn members a 10% off discount. Offer relevant and useful information that you've mentioned in your ad to give users a reason to stay and take action. Keep things simple and don't clutter your page with too much text or images. Once your users get there, you really want to direct them to a single action. And what's another point to remember about your landing pages is you really want to deliver on the promise that you made within your ad copy. Keep that relevancy there. You want to tell the user what they're going to see and then give them what they came there for. Otherwise, they might leave very quickly. Let's dive into targeting. This is step 2 of setting up your campaigns and by far where the fun begins. LinkedIn has an unparalleled ability to target your ads to the exact audience that you want to reach. You can specify who you want to target your ads to by filtering through location, company, job title, school, skill, group, gender, or age targeting. A really wide amount of options, which gives you incredible access to the people on this platform. As you select your targeting options, we'll show you an estimate of the audience size that you'll be able to reach in the right-hand corner. I'll review the key and most effective targeting filters, which include company targeting, job title targeting, and groups. I'll also touch on some of the other options as well. So as you begin targeting, the only targeting filter that we actually require per campaign is the geographic filter. You must select at least one geography to target your campaign to. However, you can target up to 10 regions, subregions, or countries within a single campaign. You can choose an entire region or even drill down to specific subregions. Remember to use the information you have about your prospects to develop thoughtful targeting, but don't go so narrow that you might miss other opportunities that are right next door. As you can see, right now I'm targeting the United States, and my estimated target audience went down to approximately 66 million members. Moving on to targeting by company. There are 2 ways to use company targeting. The first is by selecting your target audience based on the companies where they work. So this is targeting employees of Facebook or Google, for example. The second is based on selecting your target through company categories or industries, as we call them. Industry targeting is relevant when you offer products or services that are relevant to a particular vertical. So for example, if you were targeting products to all companies within high tech, this would be a great way to go. Within this filter for targeting, we also have an additional filter that you can add, which is the company size. LinkedIn uses employee size as a proxy for the size of the company. For example, if there are 5 employees within a company, they would likely be on the smaller side. You can target companies with as few as 1 employee or as many as 10,000. So a good tip to keep in mind here is some companies don't identify their company size. So we recommend that you test targeting to a particular company size as well as a broad campaign that contains no company size targeting at all. So the results of the campaigns will really show you which way is the best way to go. So remember, industry targeting is specific to that vertical. And within that vertical, we include a wide variety of job functions or titles where people work. Which brings me to our next targeting option, job titles. You can target by job titles similarly to company versus industry targeting, which means that you can either target by a specific title or by a broader job function. Just like with company, we can go specific company or wider industry. To target by specific job title, enter a job title and LinkedIn ads will suggest similar titles for you. Your audience will consist of LinkedIn members whose current job titles match the titles that you select. Really similar to exact match in search for those of you that are using AdWords. The second option is to target by job function if you want to limit your ads to people who are in one of the broader job functions like sales, finance, or HR. If your offering appeals to multiple job functions, what I would consider doing is creating a campaign for each job function separately so that you can truly tailor your ads to the specific job function that you're trying to reach. So unlike industry targeting, job function targeting is specific to a particular role. So unless it's limited by the industry filter, a job function selection will cut across various verticals. As an example, if I'm targeting somebody in the HR job function, I'll target HR across high tech and education and any other industry verticals that we have. So in order for you to reach HR within high tech, the best thing to do is to really combine 2 filters, an industry filter as well as a job function filter. So an incredibly powerful additional filter that you can use within the job title and job function option for targeting is seniority. This is a great filter if you're trying to reach professionals within a certain level of professional experience. So we can target anybody that's just starting out their careers at an entry level, or someone that is, much more senior and is in the CXO role. This is really a powerful option for targeting, as we can really reach the decision makers within particular job functions or industries by combining those filters accordingly. So targeting by groups. This is actually one of my favorite ways to target on LinkedIn. LinkedIn members join groups based on interests, skills, and expertise. And over 80% of our members belong to at least one group. And out of those 80%, at least 50% are very, very engaged in groups. So what that means is they're actively commenting within the groups, participating in discussions, etc. What that means for you and for your ads is you have engaged users constantly seeing your ads. In addition, groups oftentimes represent interests that people have. So this is, probably almost as close as we can get to intent within LinkedIn. We can truly gauge a person's interest by groups. On an operational level or logistical level, targeting by groups is very simple. Just put in the name of the group or the theme of the group that you're interested in, and we'll suggest particular groups for you. Or you can actually run a search within the LinkedIn Groups directory out of LinkedIn's main homepage, and then transfer group names over into the targeting here. But once again, an incredibly powerful way to target, and I would really recommend playing around with this as you're setting up your campaigns. So in addition to the three really large categories we just covered, which were companies, job titles or job functions, and groups, we also have targeting by schools, skills, gender, and age. So the schools and skills targeting actually just came out last week, so it's brand new. Targeting by school is literally targeting a user by the school that they attended, such as Stanford or Cal. And skills targeting will target users based on the skills listed in their profile. The gender and age is very straightforward, targeting users by gender and age. But one thing to note is, as a professional platform, we actually don't require our users to enter their gender or age when they sign up. So while some do, others don't, we do have an algorithm that predicts fairly accurately what the user's demographic is. However, this is probably not the most ideal way to target on LinkedIn, and you might be missing out on quite a few users if you select to do this. So I would recommend using gender only if you need to, and then as opposed to using age, I'd recommend actually using seniority targeting instead. Keep in mind that about 75% of our users are over the age of 25, so you already have a pretty senior audience in front of you, but if you really need to go for that high-level decision maker, then go back to the seniority filter. In the final step prior to completing campaign setup, you have to establish campaign budgets and bidding. The most important thing to remember when it comes to spending money with LinkedIn ads is that you're always in control. The first thing you want to do is select a payment method. You can either elect to pay per click, so only when a user actually clicks on your ad, or paying per impressions. So let's start with CPC, or payment per click. What you want to do is enter your maximum cost per click, so a maximum amount that you're willing to pay every single time a user clicks on your ad. In general, increasing your CPC bid can improve the position of your ad as well as give you more impressions. But keep in mind that this is just your max CPC. You might actually be charged much less than what you're bidding. The reason for that is twofold. One is we definitely take the performance of campaigns and relevancy of the campaigns into account. So the better your campaigns are performing, oftentimes your CPCs will begin to trend down. The second reason is we're actually on an auction-based system, so we'll be charging you just a cent above the previous competitor. So again, your CPC is just the max amount that you're willing to pay for that click, but will not necessarily pay. While most advertisers on LinkedIn ads choose to pay per click, we also have an option to pay for impressions. That means that we'll show your ad to all the members in your target audience and pay when we display the ad, no matter if your ad gets clicked or not. So remember, you're paying per 1,000 impressions here. Oftentimes, clients will ask me, why go with CPM over CPC? So my recommendation is select CPM if you're trying to build brand awareness. This is really about trying to get as many eyeballs as possible on your ad versus trying to generate clicks and leads through your ad. So select CPM for branding and CPC for clicks. Setting the daily budget is the last step in selecting what we want to do. The daily budget is the amount that you're willing to spend on a daily basis. To set up your daily budget, multiply your CPC or CPM bid by the number of clicks or impressions that you'd like to receive each day. For example, if you want 10 clicks each day and only want to spend no more than $3 per click, then set your daily budget at $30 per day. If you're limited by budgets when you're just starting out, as most of us are, I would definitely recommend to focus your budget on weekdays. The reason for that is our traffic does tend to kind of trickle down over the weekends, as most people tend to access the LinkedIn site over the weekdays. So really a great investment there. And remember that while you're setting your daily budget here, you're actually able to change it later on. Once your campaign is set up, you'll be spending most of your time here on the LinkedIn Ads dashboard. Your account is organized into campaigns, and you're able to see your campaign performance at the campaign level, so here at the dashboard. And you can see it across all the different, actually, industry standard metrics, such as clicks, impressions, CTR, CPCs, etc. So my recommendation to create separate campaigns is threefold. So the first reason as to why I would recommend creating a separate campaign would be if you're advertising different products or services. So it's great for you to keep those products separate and keep everything organized and the data clean. The second reason is by separating the campaigns by geographic location. So what I oftentimes do is actually separate world against the US so you can see how you perform across different markets. And the third is definitely separating campaigns based on your targeting options. So one of the examples I had before was different job functions. We might want to separate HR from IT from marketing, for example, and similarly for industries as well. So coming back to LinkedIn Ads is almost as simple as getting here the first time. We can either access LinkedIn Ads from that same URL, www.linkedin.com/ads, and then clicking on Manage Your Ads next to the Start Now button. Or you can access ads from your homepage in the upper left-hand corner, right next to the LinkedIn logo, by clicking on Go to LinkedIn Ads. Now let's talk a little bit about business accounts and why you need them. Business accounts allow multiple users to access the same account. Each user signs in with their regular LinkedIn password and is able to access any business account that's associated with their login, and there can be multiple, so this is really useful for agencies. Please note that your LinkedIn login is used only for authentication and access purposes, so nobody that is tied to the same business account is able to view any of your personal data or your personal profile. Each user within a business account can be assigned a different role. The administrative role obviously has the most control over the account. You're able to view all data, make all campaign changes, and actually as an admin, you're also able to assign roles to users as well as assign the billing and campaign contact. The standard user is the next step down. You're able to view campaign data and reports for the business account, as well as create new campaigns and edit anything that's existing. And then lastly, we have a viewer, and the viewer is actually a really great choice, and a lot of my clients use this for their financial staff. It's a role where a user can sign in and actually view the account but not make any changes. So this is a great option for someone that might want to compare an invoice versus what's going on in your user interface. And then lastly, you can also assign a billing contact and a campaign contact. The campaign contact will receive all campaign communication from us. So a business account is a great way to go. If you're an agency or if you're managing multiple clients, you can then keep the accounts separate and very well organized. And then you're also really able to assign multiple users to the same account and staying compliant and within the terms of service from LinkedIn. So that concludes my formal walkthrough of the campaign setup. I know we covered a lot today, and this slide summarizes the key to success on LinkedIn. Start out by setting clear and measurable goals. Understand your audience and segment them accordingly for your campaigns. Speak directly to your persona through strong, persuasive ads. And lastly, remember to check in on your campaigns often and optimize them for performance. If your ad copy isn't getting as many clicks as you'd like, try changing up the wording or the image. Remember, test ad copy. That's huge. Review your ROI and conversions for better and worse performing campaigns. Expand on the successful ones and keep refining on the poor performing ones until you're satisfied with the return. Thank you very much, and I'll now take questions.